Okay, so hello everybody and welcome to our second session of Déclin Oblige, which is a Forged in the Dark game of social intrigue and really weird changeling-like magic. I'm sure there's a word for it. There's a term for it. I haven't figured it out yet. But this is currently in an alpha state, and so I want to thank my players for joining in on the game while it's in this state. I really deeply appreciate it. So why don't you? Oh, bless you. That was my partner, Matthew. 1 second. Okay, he looks like an upset cat. So we will start by introducing ourselves. So I'll go ahead and start. My name is Jamie. I use they, them pronouns. And I made this game because I really like social intrigue, but as I was working on it, it became more and more magical and weird because I couldn't help myself. So some of our touchstones are Changeling the Lost, Dark Souls, I would say Wuxia clan, family, politics for sure are partly there. So really excited to get into it. And yeah, so let's meet our players and characters. So let's start with Lowell. Tell us about yourself and your character.
Got to get my mouse over there. So I'm playing 7th Thaw Windwake, and I'm the Warden of Deodans. And my house is a house of glass and clay. And I kind of have this wild living armor. My house is about the how do I put this? The redaction of history, the changing of historical past to become the future. Not like literally, I'm just rewriting how it's told and rewriting how people perceive it. That is how we do things. I have a couple of moves related to that. And last time I found a target, and we were talking beforehand. I suspect that my target, who is trying to find a new master, and my target is Locke. I suspect that Locke has Gideon in their sights as a potential new master. Perhaps comments and discussions have occurred there to connect that up with some of the other thoughts that we're having.
Oh, I like that. Oh, Gideon. I'm going to put that in. Maybe. Very cool. Interesting. I like that a lot. Cool. Perfect. And so next, Sherry, tell us about yourself and Binta.
Oh, I'm playing, my name is Sherry. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Bitna Last Gift. She is, also her title is Honored Gift of Loss. She is currently with the House of Blood and Bone, but before that she was with the House of Brass and Cog, I think it was called. But she was betrayed by a family member and essentially given over to the House of Blood and Bone to become the bride of the Hyacinth Knight, which she's born to be dutiful. She will do this thing and she will do it well, but she's also going to get her revenge. So right now, her first task is she is working to prove her worth to Gideon, who is the one in the House of Blood and Bone who has been assigned to mentor her in these early days, since she is newly dead and still has flesh and has to make the transition to full undeath. I mean, she's fully dead, but undeath is an entirely different thing. And so that is her thing. And so her first initial foray is she went to visit Gideon to see what it was that he was working on. And she was able to discern that there was a particular scrap of soul that he was looking for. And she will then, she's going to look for it, see if she can help him out. Be a worthwhile little charge.
Absolutely. All right. And then last but not least, Patrick, tell us about yourself and Serenia.
Hi, I'm Patrick, he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Serenia, she, her pronouns. And it's just Serenia, one name, no need for any other name, because in this world there's literally never been another Serenia. It's just one of those things because she's from the house of Sand and Mist, and they're the wardens of the future and destiny and the weaving and flowing of time as it will lay out, which of course, amongst many other excesses of this world, they did too much of. And so now time, prophecy, destiny, they're all cracked, warped, going in strange directions. But Serenia was meant to be the end of a destiny, the culmination of generations upon generations of prophecy and manipulation to make something important. We'll figure it out, or maybe she will, but mostly she's fighting against it because it doesn't matter if she doesn't understand the details. They are come up with by old people who are boring and mostly dead, and they don't get to say what she does. So she's going to do her own thing. Let's see, she has been trying to help Sky, a reality ghost, one of multiple people from assassinated, excised timelines who are orbiting around Serenia. Sky seems to have a constant and ongoing problem with connecting to this reality and is currently in a phase of being pushed further and further out from it. And so Serenia has been looking for an answer to that and was sure that she would get an answer from the time-torn mother, which of course she did. It just wasn't the answer that she wanted or not presented in the way that she wanted. And also time-torn mother is just like really haughty and thinks she knows everything just because she's been everywhere and will have been everywhere, but it's stupid or whatever. Destiny sucks.
100%. Okay, so last time we left, I'm looking for the tab about play reference. We did one of our interlude actions, so we get to have another one. So just to review what potential actions we have because we haven't started a scheme yet. So there's seek intrigue, where you try to create intrigue links with another PC, right, to help you during the scheme itself. And then we have, let's see, we could start up a long-term project if someone wanted to do that. I remember someone brought up like, bring up vassals if you want to start up a long-term project to create another vassal, since they create opportunities for you and extra interlude actions. You can totally do that if you want. Just let me know what kind of vassal you want and we'll create the project for it. And then there's gather information, which we did a lot of last time. We can definitely do more of that if we like. Yeah, and so those are 3 potential ones. Did I count that right? Gather information, long-term project, and seek intrigue. So with that in mind, does someone have an idea? Like, is there something that they'd love to be able to do before we start up the scheme? I feel like things are kind of forming where Gideon is like the center of the scheme in some way, right? So,
and that's the thing is, I think that I need to reach out to my colleagues across the aisle to see what their relationship is to Gideon, and just simple check-in with those who I know, like Serena, and see what's up. So with your kind permission, Serena, how am I saying that?
Serenia.
So that's right, Serena. So I will attempt to build up that link there.
sure. So when taking the seek intrigue action, choose another noble, which we have, to collude with, speak as directly or indirectly as you like, find common ground between your agendas. So that really pertains to the 3 agenda clocks that you each have, right? If you allow the other noble, so in this case it's Serenia, to offer the circumstances and setting of your conversation, you can then get an extra die when you roll to see how many intrigue links you have.
If you have the time, I certainly will meet at your disposal, but I understand your family has quite a bit of time.
You've misunderstood. You're the ones with all of the time in the world. We have mere seconds until the next moment comes. It's all we ever spend.
But that is future time. You are graced with that, whereas we only count the hours of the past. Please tell me where I can meet with you.
I don't know, like what is the city like? How
Ooh.
apocalyptic / magical / normal is it?
Yeah. So, I really should. You know what? Next time I'm going to put in the map stuff. That's what I forgot to work on. Good one. So possible places that you might offer. The City of Doors is your domain. So that's definitely a possibility. Also, if you want to talk about like the House of Sand and Mist, like maybe somewhere there or a place that they've set up for you. I consider like Serenia has very like, because they've crafted your destiny so carefully, they probably like have a particular special place for you that they crafted with the same amount of care.
Absolutely. I imagine that it is much like a toy box. Keep you pristine and in mint condition.
180 sort of stray surface dust, marring.
If you wish, I will come to the City of Doors to see you.
Sure. Take a stroll around the City of Doors.
And yeah, I think if we walk in the City of Doors, I imagine there are gardens there that come up in planters from different places, like they themselves are a door to another locale.
It's all the arches and garden gates that all like connect one to another.
One big secret garden. Yes. I'll be glad. And essentially I will speak with you. And do you wish to offer me an extra die? Since I've been so generous as to let you set this choice of place.
And
will you deny me?
We're talking vague conspiracies around Gideon, or
I'm saying to you that our interests might align, and I'm curious about your feelings towards Gideon. How you feel about his agenda, how it matches up with yours.
I see. I don't know enough about him. I feel like, though, I need to find a way to make his agenda work for me. So I'll give you an extra die to look into this.
And will you reveal a personal vulnerability to me? Reject it as I'm pushing on you, trying to probe your feelings.
No, I'm just trying to think about it. But I think she is really upset about this. Like, she was upset enough about this to subject herself to a conversation of asking favors from Time Torn Mother. And as if that wasn't bad enough, Time Torn Mother didn't just like, the favor wasn't that she fixed it for her, it's that she told her what she needed to go do to fix it for herself. And that's just
so much work. I can understand why you're tortured.
But yeah, she'll tell you about Sky, about how I know about all of this time and connection that we have with each other, but unless I really spend my magics and concentrate, I can only remember the fleetest brief moments with her.
Absolutely. I would like to roll conceal since I'm trying to hide the fact that I have murder on my mind.
Very good. Absolutely.
Wait, what now? Don't worry about it.
So that'll be then 2 dice.
2 dice. Oh, how much do you have in conceal?
I have 1 in conceal, plus
it.
the extra dice that
Perfect,
Serenia
perfect.
has given
Nice,
me.
nice, nice.
Ooh, look, I have to find out put my name in here.
Ooh, yeah,
Don't I?
Mhm, mhm.
Blah, 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 blah. How did I spell this? Fenwick. Okay. All right. So I need oh,
What did we get?
that's a 1 and a 2.
Well, I mean, she did reveal vulnerability
Cool.
to you.
So you just did all spills out, huh?
So it
sec-
is just 1 link.
But
She
But one
holds
more
something back.
because I shared a vulnerability, so
Then you have
it's
2.
plus 1 more.
Yes.
Mhm.
Just the 2. I'd hoped for more. Let's see.
And
Links.
so that's recorded on
Ooh.
Lowell's column?
Intrigue links, right?
That's correct.
Row 79.
Yeah. I am trying to figure out a way to like put in the information.
Okay.
I don't know if I should do
And
it like
he'd be
1
putting
character
in
per sheet. Anyway.
Gideon's name and then 2 links. Is that how he'd mark it?
Oh, okay. So the way that it works is Lowell will write down that he has 2 links with you.
Oh, with me.
Yeah. Ooh, wait a
Gotcha.
minute. I'm so sorry. No. My brain fritzed. So Lowell has 2 links in total, but then Serenia, you decide how to assign the links between the 2 of you.
Ooh.
So if you get to keep both, or you split it between you, or you give all of them to Lowell. All of this is stolen from Girl by Moonlight. I'm just going to put that out there. Anyway.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, it would only be right and proper that they all go to me because, you know, it's my purview to see into the future. But I'm feeling generous, and I suppose Lowell did do, 7th Thought did do some small part of the work, so we can share them evenly. I think that'll be fair.
Fair
So 1
enough.
each. I like that idea. So actually, Serenia, I want to ask, who is it that serves you at your pleasure here at this garden? Someone who tends to your needs.
Sure.
Nice.
Oh, I saw this one earlier. It's amazing. It's big and obnoxious. I think her name is the Carriage.
Ooh. I like that. The Carriage? Did I pick that up right?
Yes.
Cool. And what do they look like? Ooh, I see the pictures coming.
Yes.
The nice thing about a Pinterest board. I also forgot about the orchid prints. So that's very cool.
Yeah, I just I thought about him too, but I didn't think he'd be like at my service sort of person.
Yeah, makes sense. Ooh, I love this. So good. Okay, sharing on screen. Yeah, so I like the idea that we see them come into the garden. They have for you, Serenia, of course, your favorite tea, and somehow they also have Seventhaw's favorite, even though, is this the first time that you're meeting Seventhaw with Carriage? Or have you met before?
I think this would be the first time that I would have invited Seventhal into the city doors.
Oh, absolutely. I note the servants. I mark them. I will remember them, their faces, and their pasts. I'll go look those up later.
Hers is carved very carefully, so please note it. Took a lot of time.
And so the carriage places the beverages, the tea, the perfect little cakes, all for you to enjoy. And the carriage looks at you, Serenia. My lady, is there anything else I can do for you and our guest?
Is there anything else you desire?
No, you have done so much already.
I think we're good. Thank you.
And so carriage curtsies deeply. Serenia, what is it that you do to make sure that the carriage does not report back to your mother?
I think I've I have a thing. I think I've taken her through the secret door. Deep in the city. I think I don't know, there's something that she needed that
only the door could give.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like there's just a shot of you opening the door for her. We just see the light across the carriage's face, but we don't know what it is that they found.
Nice.
If that makes sense. And so we just see the carriage like bow, curtsy deeply, and move away quietly. And the carriage makes sure that no one else is going to interrupt and take note of what happened here in the garden. So I think this is a good time to cut to Vinta. What is it that you would like to do for your second interlude action?
I need someone who knows about history, especially history that might be redacted. And she's like, ugh, the only person I can think of is Seventhal. She's gonna talk in that super controlled voice. Ugh. Okay, here we go. She'll send around a card to see if she can visit Seventhal Wenwick.
Absolutely.
Well, I will send a cheerful greeting, a reply. Excited to have a chance to speak with you. There is a reading room, a public reading room at the Shattered Library, and they serve the most marvelous coffee there, and is amongst the scribes and the sacerdotes. Please, why don't you come and there? Perhaps if you are here to ask questions, perhaps then I can delve into the stacks to aid you with those things. Sincerely yours, Seventhal.
And sends back a letter of acknowledgement. She has a little wax seal of, the crossed guns, the pistols that she carries on it. And says she will be there and gives you a time. And she will show up. I figure we've known each other for like a long time in that sort of way that when you're growing up as young nobles, that you've crossed paths, but can't really put your finger on when first. Would that be sensible?
Absolutely. It is so good to see you. I have just myself returned from a visit to Serenia. I think you know Serenia.
I do. And how is Serenia?
She is, as she always is, perfect, exquisite, and sealed away.
That is a fine description. And we'll sit down. She'll go.
Coffee, tea.
And she sort of stops and she goes, water, if possible.
Why would you drink such a filthy thing as water? But fair enough, water.
And so one of the archivists floats on through. We can see through their spirit. There's mostly just the hints of a skeleton that used to be there. They're unable to stop themselves from making the oh kind of sound, they've been trying over the years, but water, my dear guest.
Thank you. And tea, I take a dollop of ghost honey and put it in there, made by dead bees, and stir that up. And what is it that I can do for you?
Because I heard a story of a soul that may exist, or at least some piece of it. It's a very particular person, unnamed, of course, which tells me that you would most certainly be an expert that I would need to consult on that. And she will describe the nameless warrior as best she can.
Interesting. That's a fascinating field there.
There would certainly have been records, and the namelessness suggests that they may have been changed at some point. So there's really only one person that I know that I could ask about that.
Well, if you wish, I will hunt through, as I have time, the records and get that information for you.
Excellent. Is there anything that I can do for you?
No, I don't think so. Because I don't reveal my vulnerabilities, Lowell says. Mark XP.
Oh, thank you. So she narrows her eyes. I'll get him.
I will give you the extra die.
Oh.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll with which because it sounded like you were trying to reach out and be genuinely friendly, unless you have a different skill in mind.
Yeah, I would say that she didn't come in with any particular hostility. So entice, or I don't know, is that the best one? Or because we're not using magic, so all right, so I would be rolling with a plus. I would be rolling 2 dice.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's see. Sorry, still trying to get used to this.
No worries. Yeah.
2d6, and then I control.
Because I know the text one won't work because we need to see each die on its own, right?
Yeah. I got a 4 and a 3. So.
Ooh, okay. So 4 is the highest.
Yeah. So we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4 so far on our rolls.
Yeah.
So
nice.
The next rolls probably be very nice for you, Serenia.
So that's 2 links. Yeah, but how would you like?
Total.
3 links.
Total, right? With the bonus link.
You didn't reveal.
Oh no, I didn't give a bonus link. Yes. Well then it only seems fair, since I've been gifted 1 and 1, that I will also split this one evenly.
Oh.
Okay, so you each mark 1 intrigue link. So far our intrigues is that Seventh Thaw has agreed to help Serenia look up information on Gideon, and also that Seventh Thaw is going to figure out more about this nameless warrior. Seventh Thaw is being very helpful.
One of the things is I don't think I've told Seventh Thaw that I'm with the House of Blood and Bone. He still thinks I'm cog
so this
and
is
brass.
a secret. Ooh.
Yeah, it is a secret.
Nice. Interesting.
We'll have that out of you soon enough.
You think so?
Now I have a
Okay.
question. Now,
Mhm.
with it says you can only seek out intrigue links with a particular person once each thing. Now, could Serenia come back to me, or does Serenia have to go to Sherry?
Good question. Yeah, Serenia can go to you because you
Okay.
sought her out last time.
Perfect.
Yeah. So Serenia can choose like whoever she likes.
And why wouldn't she?
Why indeed?
Yeah, so you could also start up a long-term project if you like, or anything you like. Though admittedly, the intrigue links are very useful during a scheme.
Yeah, I'll work on that. It's been our theme for this one, and I should have more. Don't know what they do, but I need them.
Num num num. Eat the intrigue links, yes. So who would you like to seek intrigue with? Who do you think can help you with your agenda?
Well, I mean, I think I've gotten probably all of the limited information I can bring out of Seventh Thought. It's a shallow well, and I've plumped that one. So I obviously need to go see Vinta.
All right.
I mean, who would know more about Gideon's secrets and intrigues, right?
Well, here's the thing is, would I even be able to keep that secret from you? You would have known all along that I was going to be in House of Blood and Bone, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
What
but
do you mean?
maybe.
I just was asking, wouldn't that be one of the things is it would be very hard to hide the status from you because you guys see forward and backwards.
It's true. We see absolutely everything. It's really of no use even trying to hide or dissemble in any way.
All right.
So will
I
you
just
let...
wondered.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wondered if inherently they would know.
With it, we did.
Oh, okay, great, awesome. I mean, not that I know. I'll just suspect that she might know.
Yeah. Perfect. So Serenia, will you allow Vinta to like set the scene and where it is, or do you want to say where the meeting is going to take place?
No, go for it. It's set up a meeting. I send out a note saying I haven't seen you in so long, and we really should get together and talk. And please tell me where.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, the soul market would be interesting because I think that one of the things about it is it's like not a place where there are wares on display. It's pretty much just a set of people with reputations for having access to things. And then you go and ask questions and you haggle and negotiate. So I'm thinking that it's a really like a large building. It's very ornate. It's mostly full of meeting places and restaurants and things like that. And then the people who have access to souls, and you can go and discreetly deal with them as you wish. But there's all sorts of other reasons to go there, and it's lovely. So yeah. She'll choose one of the sidewalk cafes that's there that has the advantage that it's next to this great moving statue that kind of always has this breeze, and it has the effect of making it hard for anyone to overhear your conversations.
Absolutely.
It's a great warrior who swings his sword with each breeze.
So here under the wind of his mighty blows, would you reveal a vulnerability to me?
I think she would, but unknowingly. You would be the one that would catch that smell of incense and know that that was essentially, how should we say, that's a very new thing and a very out of character thing for the Vintna that you knew before. So her life has changed significantly. Would that be sufficient?
Yeah. Would you offer me the die from setting the circumstance?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, do you think you're directly asking for help with Gideon, or do you think you're being a little more like sly about it, or a little more indirect about it? Or are you offering something? Or
I think we're here in the soul market, so it might make sense to offer to just deal with her. We're in a place where strange and unmentionable deals take place, and no one has to talk about what happened in here afterwards.
All right.
yeah, so what are you offering?
I would offer Vinta.
Ooh.
Just saying, I would offer Vinta my guidance and the clearest of my sight for whatever they need help on.
All right.
All I need is the keys into Gideon's mind, into his heart. How can I bend him to doing what I want and not twisting it in some way? Simple.
She sort of stops and she goes, why would you ask me for that?
Do you not know him? Are you not close?
And, you know, Vintna can't blush, right? So I think that she kind of does she goes, I would like to know the same thing that you are asking. I can offer you my help in finding that.
All right.
And she says, all I ask is you tell me what it is that you need from Gideon.
I need his work for a friend.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
And let's see, I think this is the perfect time for the roll to see how much you trust each other, because it's all very
It is, yeah. So
It's
we make a
very
roll to see
interesting.
how much we trust each other.
yeah.
This is
So
interesting.
Serenia will make the roll, because this is the intrigue link, right? So
Okay, yeah.
what it sounds like you were sort of going towards entice, but do you think there was something else at play for Serenia? I could see an argument for Attune.
Yeah, I think it skirted around a tune. I was just looking at because there's the house skills, actions as well, but that could be a thing, right?
Oh, oh.
Searches.
Oh, let's look. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Usually the house skills are only used during a scheme. Oh, but could you use
Oh,
them?
okay.
No, but could you use them during,
Shame.
oh, maybe, you know what? Okay, gonna take out my notes. Like, can you use them during interlude actions? Yeah. You can definitely test that out right now if you like. So,
Okay. Are you sure? Because I was also good with the dice.
yeah, I'm good with when a game is this early, we can push and prod as much as we like. So no problems.
So I sort of like echo with the answer and search of the send a signal out through the many layers of time and see what responds to your call. I like that of like searching into some of the faded shadows of Gideons that could have been, to get some insight into the Gideon that survived them all.
Oh, nice. Through echo, is that what you're?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so cool. Maybe I will. Yeah, maybe we should just be able to use house actions. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, would that take a little like more setup than a personal level action?
Oh no, don't worry.
Like,
Since
would there be some? But just like in fiction, would there be something more than just Serenia? You know, doing something like
yeah,
I don't know.
like,
Is it bigger than just a personal thing?
ooh, yeah. I would like to. Yeah, because this is really like up to how does the house train people to be able to do this, right? Like, is it something that they can does it require sacrifice of some kind? Does it require like payment? Is it like a ritual?
I think it's got to be like site dependent. Like it's got to be somewhere that would echo with enough possibilities from Gideon's timeline to be able to see through some different places. So
Yeah, so we'll say like Gideon was there, like, yeah, I like this idea. Maybe even Vinta, do you know that Gideon was going to be in the area and that he was going to be keeping an eye on you, or is this a surprise?
I think he's the one that arranged my association with the Soul Market and Feliciano. So this is like his set of contacts as well. So, so even though I'm the one who brought him those scraps, he probably comes down actually to check on things regularly anyway. And to be intimidating, it is the job of the House of Blood and Bone. So, to make the Soul Market a little bit more scary. So
this is one of those things where
Nice.
Gideon just passes by in the moment to like check in on who owns this particular establishment, and that's when Serenia will take advantage of the moment.
all right, so that's 3 dice.
Yeah, because you get the extra one.
oh, your dice are stacked on top of each other.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Maybe we'll tell John.
Yeah.
I do not understand how this page works.
No worries. Do you want to re-roll, change the color of the die, maybe, if it would help?
Oh, that's a thing you can do. So, what actions should I take to roll dice on this page? How does one go about doing this?
Sure. Let me share the screen. So we have some dice here, but basically, if you want to change the color, let's say we want to change it into this bright green color. Then just tap on it twice, and then 2 dice will show up on top of each other. Not very good. Anyway, there
Yeah, that was what happened.
we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Does that
then I
make sense?
moved them
So-
for you is what happened.
Okay,
So-
so not just me. All right.
Yeah, actually. Oh, I didn't realize this was a fudge die. I thought this was a plus die. Like, anyway.
If I come up here. Oh, okay. There. I did blue dice.
Do you want to keep the roll as is, or do you want to actually, because that's always a good question, right? Like when we used roll for your party, did we always accept the dice when it just spat out, or did we roll them? I can't remember.
Yeah,
Feels like
that's
we can stick
random
with the 5.
numbers. It's a roll. Yeah.
5 is good. 5 is very good. So on a 5, that means, and then plus you got the vulnerability, right? So that's a total
Yep.
of 3 links. Nice. So
Mhm.
Vinta, how would you like, oh, let me answer your question though, of what you saw through Gideon. So you were trying to find something that connected the surviving Gideon, is that right? Like through all the different ones in particular?
Yeah, some way to hook into him emotionally or psychically or whatever. That's, I don't know. That was just how I was looking into it. Is looking into all of the faded Gideons,
Yeah.
the life choices not followed.
I see. So you see, like in the distance, that warrior that's like heaving their sword and creating that wind that's like hiding your conversation. You can see at one point that was supposed to be someone else. You can see that it was a warrior in black armor, white hair, dark skin, and so the audience knows it's the nameless warrior, right? And so you also see that there's a point where Gideon steps up towards this warrior and places a hand on their shoulder before reaching over to kiss them on the cheek. So you know for a fact that there was one lifetime where the two of them were supposed to have fallen in love, but that was taken away from Gideon. And I think with your abilities, you know that it was that, because sometimes fate is just like discarded, sometimes it's truly random, but you can tell that there was some manipulation here.
Gotcha.
So if you tell Vitna that, she will give you 2. Otherwise, she will give you 1.
We are practicing already. Very good, very good.
No, I'll explain that he grieves, knowing or not, for a destiny, a soulmate, a pairing that was meant to happen, but was diverted for other purposes.
And Vitna kind of guilelessly asks, well, who would have done that? Like, you know, Vitna doesn't always like suspect your house of all of that stuff, even though she ought to. There's like, she has this blank spot in her thing. It's always been the kind of funny thing about her is that unlike everyone else, she doesn't think that all the things that have gone wrong have something to do with your family.
I think Serenial will take that sort of pause of like, oh, you're obviously poking at me. Oh no, wait, you're sincerely asking a question. And then she'll sort of collect herself and say, well, you know, the House of Glass and Clay are always looking to trade one thing out in the present for a different past.
already talked to Seventh. I'll have to figure out when I can. Got it. We'll see.
Who could have manipulated time? Well, it was probably these other time manipulators. Have you asked them?
No, but they didn't mention it. Yeah.
Definitely no one over here that I can think of. Stop looking. It's just so where'd 7 go?
I like to think of it as open-minded about
All right, so are we splitting the bonds as because there are 3 to split, right?
I know, so I gave Vitna 2 because I mean I gave
Serenia.
Serenia 2.
Yeah, 2 on
Because-
Vinta.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, so I think with the remaining time, we have enough just to set up what we think the next scheme would be. I do feel like we've centered in on Gideon very well. What I can offer, because which agendas would we like to see? I'm trying to figure out. I feel like I'm really putting the train tracks in front of the train as we're playing. So I would like everyone to look at their agenda clocks and see which ones they want to work on filling during the scheme itself. So
Okay.
I think for Vinta, it's
clear.
It's clear, right? I feel like
Mhm.
it's probably when Gideon over. For Seventh, which one do you think?
Oh, the
Or-
dispatcher's respect. I'm being proactive on my jobs.
Absolutely. Right. And we know that, yeah, so we'll involve Locke, right? Because we know that Locke's trying to find a new master through Gideon. How about Serenia? Do you feel like, because I can see it as if you want to take some of Gideon's power to break your chains, or if you want Gideon's help to find the traps.
I think it's more like find the power, whether it's getting some power for Gideon or whether it's just like proving to herself that she can work against her ancestors and give Sky a place. Like if she could just prove that she can actually do it, it gives her the confidence to move forward. So whether she finds that power or just proves that it's possible, I think either way would be good.
So in some ways, what you're trying to do may be similar to what Gideon would be trying to do.
Ooh, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
Yes, I
think
planned
that
that
in
for
that
her.
conversation that Vitna kind of like, she doesn't say that because she doesn't know what you're trying to do, but she kind of like goes, oh, so maybe he's trying to like find some way to bring them in back to here.
It's just to connect them more fully with this timeline, to give them a real past, an anchor.
Exactly. I mean, unfortunately, they would be dead, but you know, it would be a kind of undeath of a sort. Eternal.
You can work
There's
around the
advantage.
undeath part, Serenia.
Yeah.
You should be able to handle it.
He's open-minded. That's what you think. Very open-minded.
So I'm thinking I'd like to offer different ideas. This could be if we want to engage with the flower court. It could be that Gideon is one of the hosts of the flower court the next tournament. So it could be trying to get to Gideon during this event. Or another, because Gideon seems to be kind of like such a sweetheart. Like, what would they be caught up in doing? Mhm.
Anything that I can do to sort of tag along with whatever is going on, just so that when my target gets close to Gideon to petition him for his support, that I can take care of them at that point.
Absolutely. How about everybody else?
Yeah, I don't mind the flower court because it would be a chance to see what's going on with all of those hyacinth knights and lilac knights. And let's see, we've got an orchid prince, a hyacinth knight, yes, and what was the other one? A rose.
Oh, the Rose Duelist, right?
Yeah, the rose jewels and the lilac king.
Yeah.
So
So it could be like the pre-celebration. What's the word I'm looking for? Like to the opening celebration for the tourney event, like the first party. There's a word for it that I'm not hitting.
Yes, there is.
Opening ceremonies? Or?
Yeah.
That's good. That'll do. Yes.
Exactly, exactly. So we can say that during the opening ceremonies, there's going to be lots of opportunities. Of course, the different houses are going to be invited to try to. I'll say that Gideon is one of 3 people who are the hosts. If anyone would like to offer one of their other NPCs to be one of the other hosts, maybe from the house.
So is being a host of this like kind of onerous, and it's a thing that they'll shove off on someone else, or is this like an honor? With the houses.
Yeah. I think I feel like it's something that requires a lot of attention, right? You're going to have all these eyes on you. So it's for those who appreciate that attention and want to use it, then they'll try to get it. But so it's kind of strange that Gideon has it, right? So it means that it was shoved onto Gideon, and no one else in the.
Yeah, and the House of Blood and Throne is not that keen on these things.
Yeah. Exactly.
Except that they expect the highest at night to win, but that's
of course. But they, they'll just force Gideon to.
Well, I think if it's a flower court thing, I think it makes sense that the Lilac King would be involved in running it, setting it up, being a face for it.
Yeah, sure. Let me put that. One of the hosts opening ceremonies. How about for our House of Glass and Clay? Who do we think is one of the hosts for the tourney?
Well, if we're taking high positioned people, then I would say Tesarka 1010.
Ooh, yeah, sure. Makes sense. And we have an opportunity to flesh them out too, which would be cool. Yeah. So I think with that, like, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we'd like to do to set up the actual event, the scheme. Is there anything I can offer to anyone that they would like to know more of before we jump in next session?
What
is this like a ritual that's supposed to like take the place of like some spring celebration or festival since the world's so messed up? Or is it is it that kind of thing? It's a ritual of the seasons, even though
the seasons are kind of whack.
Yeah.
Is it happy or sad?
Good question. Good question. Yeah. I think, I feel like does it make sense that it's a happy one because everyone's in denial about how bad the world is? Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So, I have a question that is, I'm just having a hard time framing it.
Sure.
I don't know. What is the scheme? What are we doing?
Oh, yeah. So I feel like we're definitely trying to get to Gideon. I feel like Seventhal is very clear about taking out their target.
But here's the thing is if the scheme is getting access to Gideon, private access and influence on Gideon, I'm more than, because I will be dragged along in their wake. I am more than happy to be part of that.
Okay, so, but like the stated end goal is like step 5 and then Gideon will owe us. Is that it? Or like...
Here's the thing is that whoever this nameless warrior was, they were a previous champion of whatever this contest is. So this is a time of high significance to do this action for Gideon. Does that make any sense? If he's going to bring him into the world, then if he could do it before the end of this event, then we have given him a much better gift. So it is about one, attaining some scrap of soul of this nameless warrior, and then getting it to Gideon in a way that everyone gets what they want.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe to make it more concrete, perhaps you find out that Gideon agreed to be the host of this thing because they knew they would be in a position to enact a ritual through this event, right? In order to reach through time and bring back the full soul of the nameless warrior who once won. So that means they were probably part of the flower court, right? Does that make sense? Is that clear
Yes.
enough, Patrick? Is like, that's a good question you brought up about it being concrete enough, right?
Yeah, I
wonder if we, and this is just the thing, I mean, one of the things we have in basic Blades in the Dark are the kinds of jobs.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it might help us to have like some suggested framings for things.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, like win favor would be one of them.
Yeah. Oh, let me write that down.
Gain access, win favor. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, because like while we were talking, I thought I should have a table, right? Too. This feels like a table thing because I realized.
I mean, assassinate will always be on there and things like that.
But I like, well, and especially if, here's the thing is, if when we've got our schemes that are there, but if the sort of the meta of this is gain access, then our schemes fit within this if we kind of frame that up.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. I will have to think about the frame. I'll study Blades again to see how they. Yeah. Because like I realized I've been playing a lot of like Forge in the Dark games where I think it's so specific what we do all the time. Like Girl by Moonlight, it's always you go into dreams and you figure out what's going on in the conspiracy with this particular playset. With Brinkwood, it's you go fuck up the vampires in whatever way you like. So yeah, so I realized this one needs more structure. Yeah, that's a good point. I was hoping like it would like come together through the scheming, but I think we need more structure for sure. That makes sense.
It will at least help form the scheming.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That's a good point.
It defines what success looks like.
Yeah, right. Good point. I really appreciate this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also like what our obstacles are going to be going into. Because that's, I guess, another thing I'm having a hard time framing in my mind. It's like, okay, there's this tournament going on, and we walk up to Gideon and say, we hear you have a ghost problem, and we'd like to help you with your ghost problem, and then we help him with his ghost problem, and then we have tea.
Right. Yeah. So instead of like, what is a clear obstacle?
I've just been struggling to try and apply the framework of scheme or the idea of scheme onto that.
So understand, so let's look at what are the problems. The problems is that this is a warrior that was like struck from the records, right? So for some reason he's persona non grata, which means that whatever it is that Gideon needs to do needs to be done in secret.
So it's actually sort of, one, we need to get past handlers and be able to get access. Two, we need to be able to get them into a private place to have this conversation. So that's step two. Step three is we need to have leverage over them to get to do what to answer your questions. And then profit, like you said, Patrick.
Big profit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I'm definitely going to figure out a way to make this easier to draw upon next time.
It's cool. I mean, it's very evocative, and I think it'll be fun to figure that out.
Yeah, it feels like we're really playing the game backwards, doesn't it? Like
we're playing around with we're teasing into the subsystems, figuring out what they are, and figuring out what not variables, but what's the end product of a scene of a subsystem, and how does that lead us into our next part? So I think that's cool.
Mhm.
And I think Sherry's got a good point with like the approaches or whatever from Blades, because they not only tell you what your end goal is, but like they frame some of the problems along the way. Because if you're going in for like a thieving run, you know that the end goal is to get the expensive thing back home with you, but you also know there's going to be like guards and security systems and safes and stuff. Whereas if you're doing an assassination attempt, you know, there's that brings to mind a different set of like obstacles I'm going to be preparing myself for.
And here's the thing is, maybe we're not going in to gain favor. Maybe we're going in to do a forbidden ritual. Like essentially, we know that Gideon's going to want to do this. And so if we can succeed, Gideon owes us in everything we, you know, if that makes any sense. We just have to make sure that the favor that we are doing is great enough that the ask that we have for them won't be a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point.
And then we have all the blowback from whatever forbidden ritual we've done.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I think this is a good place. I'm gonna think about this stuff and like review it. But yeah, I think we can end the session here. Everyone's okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
I will say, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after, we probably won't be playing, because that will be the weekend that we get the shot. And I very much suspect that Sherry and I will be out of it that weekend. So just planning ahead. We may be fine. I don't know.
yeah. But to be on the safe side, we'll probably say no, but maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so very cool. I will end the recording here. But for everybody who was listening or watching, thank you so much for watching us build this game together. It's very cool. I really appreciate everybody. Everybody's so awesome. But we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. Okay.